This will be my first official BFDI related video on this channel. If you guys don't know, I own a separate channel named Storm Plays where I post gaming content, but I'm making a separate channel for OCS. So basically, Rocky is a very complex character to kind of like narrow down to try to make a good character, and I think the creators messed up with his character arc, as I feel like he could have been something very good. If we go back to BFDI, he's seen to have wanted to be Tennis Ball's friend, and I feel like a lot of the times when Rocky would sit around, he was trying to like act like people who he thought he could be friends with. For example, Spongy sat down a lot, so he did. Teardrop couldn't talk, so he doesn't talk, and you can see this also when he invites Tennis Ball onto his team. We all know that Rocky does mess up the challenges and is overall not a helpful team member, and I can see why he's being voted off of BFDIA 6 right now. Now, I do want to point out that we did get to hear Rocky talk one time during this, saying, "Hey, pencil," and although that isn't a lot, he spoke for the first time in 10 years. Now, the thing with Spongy, I'm going to talk about him for a second here. He doesn't really have anything going for him, and as he's the second most voted contestant as of now in the voting, I think he should be the one to go. At least with Rocky, we can try to make an arc with him, but with Spongy, we can't really do much with him. He's already had his time to shine in BFB, and I feel like with Rocky, he hasn't done much in Teapot, so I feel like building off of that, Rocky could be someone very useful. He's obviously seen to be someone who can complete challenges, as in this clip right here, he was able to better himself right now. He's obviously not the smartest contestant. You can even say he probably doesn't even have a brain. But if we look back onto Teapot, he does have some abuse. Now, I'm not going to justify it, obviously, because I feel like a lot of people go over the fact that Spongy gets abused a lot, and they consider that like something why they would like Spongy. And the same thing with Rocky. He also gets abused. People have called him useless to his face before. Now, with Rocky's character, I can see why people hate him, and I understand it. And I honestly don't blame them, because on my tier list, Rocky is an okay character. He's not my favorite, and I'm not going to be biased here. I can see why he can be eliminated in the next episode, and I honestly don't mind it. But I also think if we were to keep him into the show, it could build an arc that we could see with him. Obviously, Teapot and just BFDI in general hasn't been really that good with keeping arcs, or making good ones for a matter. Cough, cough, Talkover's book arc, that one sucked. But I feel like we could also make some really good arcs with Rocky, as he's been seen to care about some people, and also how he can be like mad at times. I feel like if we were to continue arcs like that, then Rocky could be better than just like your stereotypical cute character. As of now, Rocky is being eliminated, and I can see why, and I've stated before, he's just very complex to kind of break down as a character. But we can clearly see that he goes through a feelings of emotions, or like a set where he like kind of just like stays happy a lot. And that's good for him, but a lot of people obviously just think he's dead weight and useless, and that kind of builds onto a character arc we can make where he kind of goes through that, and like how he can't talk. And we all know that he ate a barf machine, and that's why he can't really talk anymore. And he also just forgot, which was stated by Tennis Ball a long time ago, 10 years ago, a little bit over that in BFDI. So we also know that a spike did hit his barf machine, which is why he constantly barfs all the time. And yeah, it can be seen as gross, and he's probably one of the most hated / loved characters in the show, and he won't be eliminated in Teapot for a good while. But for BFDIA, I can't really say the same thing. He did make it to 6th place in season 1, proving that he was a likable character. With that arc in mind, we can clearly see that he was an okay character back then, and although Rocky's fanbase consists of kids so far, I feel like we could try to like build on to that. I'm not the biggest Rocky supporter, right? To be honest, he can leave the show. I wouldn't really care. He doesn't benefit it a lot. But we also have characters who don't do anything that also survive just because people like them. Like Spongy, yeah, he's helpful, right? Don't get me wrong. He helped them win many challenges. He's an overall enjoyment to the team, and he's not a bad character. I just don't personally like Spongy, but I'm mostly making this video to kind of like show you guys that Rocky can be a good character. You can clearly see Pencil literally just kicked him off. And I feel like if we were to build something where Rocky kind of goes through all this abuse and kind of like snaps back, he can be an interesting character. I do want to make a part 2 to this, as he's a very interesting character to go over, and I feel like if you gave Rocky more of a chance, he could be something good in BFDIA, because as we know, a lot of characters like Bommy and himself, included Rocky, were really good in BFDIA, and same thing with Ruby. So if we build these arcs, and we're going back into BFDIA now, it could definitely benefit his character, and I know that people would like to see a Rocky redemption, so that way he isn't at the bottom of tier lists all the time. He could obviously be a character you could root for like people were in season 1, and if we just gave him a chance, I think he could do well. He could rejoin most likely too if he's eliminated, but I just wanted to make this video in order to kind of just explain myself and why I think Rocky should survive over Spongy. But like I said, it's just my opinion, and I hope that this can kind of persuade you to change your vote. And if not, that's totally up to you. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I wanted to make sure I can state my opinions. And if you guys want more BFDI related content, then comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.